Hey guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kyuujin, and today we are back as you guys with House of Dragon, episode 4.
So last episode, Daemon raged fire and blood unto the guys at the Stepstones who dare defy us.
He was badass, that's for sure.
Yeah, but they were still losing 3 years after the beginning of all of this. And when his brother finally decided to send help, Daemon read the message and he was like, no, I did all of this to prove myself. I am not accepting help. So he went alone.
Yeah, he was like, fine, I'll do it myself then.
Yeah, he offered himself as bait and it worked. They all came out of the caves, and then while he was trying to fight them off and he was getting shot by arrows, the others showed up and they managed to win. It was fucking epic. And not only was he epic, but Rhaenyra was also epic the last episode. They went on a hunt to celebrate the second birthday of her stepbrother, and she wasn't really happy to be there. Like, she understands that a lot of the people there just expect her dad to choose her brother over her as the heir eventually. Although he has told her that, you know, despite him having doubts, now he's certain she's gonna stay the heir. So that's good. Still, at the hunt, she kind of had a fight with her dad, and she ended up alone with one of the king's guard in the woods, and she killed a boar herself. Out of survival, but still it was pretty badass, and she came back like full of blood, and that was pretty cool.
All the warrior was like, yay! All the Lord was like, ooh!
Yeah. So this is pretty much where we are. Again, like every episode we've been jumping in time, so I don't know if we'll jump in time again, probably. So let's see where we are and what happens next, I guess.
Alright.
We are both sick, so sorry if we sound sick. We're gonna do our best. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these episodes. Check out our Patreon for the full-length reactions, and let's go.
Alright.
And hello, my sweet lady.
Is she looking for a potential wedding?
I think, yeah.
Did you think my great-grandmother is beautiful as they say?
This was half a century ago, princess.
She called him old.
She still has that fire. And you're too young.
I'm now a child.
Our history is deeply rooted in this land. If chosen as your match princess,
She probably
She
likes
finds
him one
him
of the
cute.
shall be
young.
easy and night safe under my protection.
The princess has a dragon, you dumb cunt.
Shut up.
Craven.
We're leaving.
Too much drama.
Send word to the harbour and have Captain Osmond ready to show.
Hey,
But bad for a kid.
do not underestimate anyone. He was angry too. Anger usually helps.
He humiliated his honor. So yeah.
How do you think he will take it?
How you rejected every suitor his grace put before you, or how you abruptly ended the tour with 2 months remaining?
He said choose. She's trying to choose. The choices are not that good.
But it is difficult to find a suitable suitor.
Usually it's done based on what they can bring you. Hey,
Ah, their uncle. Did he swept her off her feet?
like I'm wondering what changed relationship-wise here, like ever since he won?
I don't know. He has a crown.
He killed a guy who proclaimed himself some sort of king, you know, so technically
He has short hair also.
I actually prefer the short hair.
Add it to the chair.
People keep calling him drama queen in the comments. You're right.
Yeah.
You wear a crown. Do you also call yourself king?
Once we smash the tribe key, they name me King of the Narrow Sea.
Hey, they did it.
But I know that there is only one true king, your grace. My crown and stepstones are yours.
To be fair, he had every right to gloat. So it's not too bad. Okay. We need to discuss this at the end, but okay. I see what you guys have been saying in the comments.
And he gonna love his family and his brother?
Everyone was shitting on his name last episode. If he had lost, it would have been a different conversation. Having won, they can't really say shit.
No.
So, what do you want?
Only the comforts of home.
Horizontal. For sure.
I do suppose you seem changed by your adventures. Mature, perhaps.
You've matured yourself these last 4 years, Princess. You'll get used to the attention.
My father seems content to sell me off to whichever lord has the biggest castle.
There are worse things to be sold for.
And he literally told you you had the choice, girl. Like, you have it better than a lot of other girls.
Balusut, itina de Mario sut vedila sagan costas. Abra sut vecitul.
Predasmo Brasilio dele uno go daradex.
Una nuja darani apicalcoli seitax. Encos voces potilunda or.
Glaso ne ohon zugose glaso con coste de or.
Zugos glasilum gelunda or. Me pavos glasilum.
You're still young. That could change. If it's your choice, you're gonna be fine.
It seems we have traded a crab feeder for a sea snake.
Years have passed since the business with his daughter. Certainly he cannot still be wroth.
It's only been 2 episodes.
Perhaps we can salve the wound?
By wedding his son with Rhaenyra.
The thing is, like, he has told her she has a choice, but if things go wrong, eventually she won't have a choice. And
Gonna have to do what her father didn't have the balls to do then?
yeah. Come meet me in the night. We already know that Daemon knows all the secret passages. Devil. Tu veux vraiment t'amuser? Titanic.
When the royals go and mingle with the pauper, right?
He knows Fleabottom better than anyone at court. He wants to show her life and what she's been missing. Yeah, see? You could enjoy that.
Our good king names his daughter, his heir. But then to him, a babe is born. A son!
I have a feeling she's not enjoying that as much as the others.
Rhaenyra. Would she make a powerful queen?
Give her a chance.
Or would Egon the Babe Prince might long for acclaim? He has 2 things Rhaenyra cannot: a conqueror's name and a cock.
Yeah, just a few of many of the small folk would like to believe there is a male. Everyone should be the heir.
They only know that.
Their wants are of no consequence.
You need to think about what the people think.
For one eye, I wish
once.
free of the back.
4 copper street rat in King's Landing we pay for our pleasures.
Hey, stop! Boy! Wait, I'll find him.
I want this. It costs money.
Attention, attention, Brad, ils sont pauvres.
Sorry. The French call us today. I'm sorry.
The king has requested your presence. The hour is quite late. Yes, your grace.
The comparison of Rhaenyra tasting freedom and then Alicent being a prisoner in a castle makes it even more sad.
What is this place?
It's where people come to take what they want.
Everything. Man, woman, 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 man, man. Young, old.
Niece.
Fucking is a pleasure, you see. For the woman as it is the man.
I told you. I knew where it was going. This is sad.
Marriage is a duty.
She's so not in it.
But that doesn't stop us from doing what we want.
It stops her.
From fucking who we want.
Like, honestly, consider yourself lucky compared to your friend, because, although, like, with power, I guess you can be wed to someone and still do like him and have fun on their side, and it's fine, and the queen can't really do that.
Well, she can if she's not.
Yeah,
to
if they
get
find
caught.
out. If they find out, she gets killed. Unless, for some reason, her husband is fine with it, but usually they're not. You're playing. He doesn't want. No, he's stopping himself. He wants it, but he's stopping himself.
Or he has trouble to get it up. But I've heard that compared to the book, they showed him that he has some
Issues?
issues with it.
I don't know. Careful. Weren't you in there?
Look at her being all playful.
Well, he is handsome. He doesn't have the right though. I'm just saying
Look at
that
you flirting with your knight.
I'm just saying that I don't think she's the princess. Even if she wants, if people were to find out, I'm pretty sure they would punish him harshly if he did anything.
Stop.
I don't know. I'm a bit worried.
Well, if it does come to this, it's someone that she knows, that
Yeah, but-
she finds cute and has a bond with.
Yeah, but for all of Daemon saying that you take what you want and stuff and it's pleasure and you
Yeah,
enjoy
but
it,
you didn't think
there
about
are-
the consequences.
there are consequences. I'm just afraid for his sake because we saw a boy follow her, little birds and stuff. We know about them in Game of Thrones. Who's to say that there are not spies going around that could tell what happened, and what if he gets beheaded for that shit? Because it's not just sleeping with the princess, it would also be taking her maidenhead. This is really bad. I totally understand where she comes from, to be fair. She was just cock-blocked by her own uncle, who, you know, made her feel excited probably for the first time. She's into it, she wants it, and he's hot. I get it. I'm afraid he's gonna die for it.
They do have a bond also.
Go for it. If it goes well, good for them. But in true, like, Game of Thrones fashion, I kind of expect him to die at the end of this episode.
She won't be able to marry him though.
Yeah,
So
no,
what's
that's
gonna
not the
happen
point.
when she finds a husband?
That's not the point. And then also another thing is that there's a huge difference between what a girl can do and what a man can do. A man can be married and still fuck around. A girl, usually there are consequences. It's frowned upon a lot more, back in those days especially.
The messenger brings word from the White Worm.
No, not that one, no. So they're gonna know that she had a whorehouse with Daemon then?
Where are you sleeping, man?
Am I your prisoner?
That was once yours. I'm your protector. Lucky for you.
I don't need protection from common law.
I've left that life behind. The skin trade could only take me so far in this life.
You never were one to stay idle.
Hard lessons are not welcomed, but suffered.
So it's her boys that look around and gather information. She would be paid a lot for information.
What's gonna happen now? Because that one is ready to do anything to put his grandson on the throne.
The princess was spied last evening in the pleasure house. Daemon and Rhaenyra were seen together.
Just kissing. He left. I think like...
Coupling.
No. He stopped.
No, but it's gonna say what he wants. They have been seen in the pleasure house.
You're so sick with ambition that you would have my daughter stop, awaiting your best chance to destroy her reputation.
Yeah.
I have no such intention.
You nailed it.
Well, he is, but she's not helping herself.
Just get out. Leave me.
Like, to be fair, she has been seen.
Like, this is his ambition. But she is not helping herself by giving ammunition to his ambition.
And like, now he's mad, but he will not forget about what he heard, and he'll definitely bring it up.
Were you with your uncle?
You took me into the city for some fun.
Tell me the whole of it, Rhaenyra.
Your father accused me of something.
That you fucked Daemon in a pleasure house.
No.
This is a vile accusation.
Well, he got the first part of it.
You wanted it.
You cannot believe such gossip. My father is no gossip. He was told.
Who made these claims to your father? I am the princess. To question my virtue is an act of treason. We drank in a tavern. He took me to a show. And then Daemon sank into his cups and abandoned me for some whore.
Not really the whole truth.
Well, she can't really say that she was excited by her uncle. And like, it's a bit... hypocritical of her to say like, oh, how dare you, you ask questions when she did sleep with someone, but...
The king has strived to find you a good match, and so have I. If that lord were to think that you were being...
Yeah.
Promiscuous?
Yep.
It would ruin everything. I know. I regret it.
As a woman back then, you don't really have a choice, noble or not.
You lose value when you sleep with someone before marriage, as a woman.
Demands an audience, my friend.
And he's definitely gonna get it. He did take her to a brothel. He stopped himself, which, I mean, I want to talk about this, but he did bring her there. After his brother was so happy to have him back, and
Yeah, no, he's gonna beat you up, man.
My daughter, won't you even deny it?
I need to understand the charge before I can attempt to discredit it.
I'm not really all there yet.
Hey, wait for him to answer before you kick him.
When we were Rhaenyra's age, we fucked our way through most of the brothels on the Street of Silk.
We were young men. She is just a girl. Your niece.
Rhaenyra's a woman grown.
You have ruined her. Who gives a fuck what some lord thinks? You are the dragon. Your word is truth and law. I said disinherit her. But I already did you. Be done with it.
Wed her to me.
You're already wed.
That didn't stop Aegon the Conqueror from taking a second wife.
You are no conqueror.
He's not even trying to say he didn't sleep with her.
It's not my daughter you lust for, is it? It's my throne.
No, I do believe he lost after his niece.
Both?
Go back to the Vale, Daemon. Strive to restore whatever scrap of honor remains in you. As long as you are gone from my side for good.
In this way, I do feel a bit bad about this, because, like, it's like he guessed that he wasn't gonna take him seriously. So, like, why try to defend himself? There's no point, like, they won't believe him.
Yeah, no matter what he would have said, they would not have believed him because of his reputation. And anyway, even if they did it or not, just the gossip by itself can do harms.
That dagger once belonged to Aegon the Conqueror. The last of the Valyrian pyromancers hid his song in the steel.
Beautiful.
From my blood come the prince that was promised, and his will be the song of ice and fire.
That we did not get.
Yeah, we got a part. We got some of it.
Responsibility I have handed to you. It is larger than the throne. It is larger than you and your desires.
What? Did nothing happen?
You've yet to ask me for the truth of what happened.
The truth does not matter, Rhaenyra. Only perception.
Were I born a man, I could bear Tim if I wanted.
Yeah, but you're no man.
But you were born a woman.
So you'll strip me of my titles and name Aegon in my stead.
I would, but it is mine to hold the realm together, not sow it with further division. You will wed Selena Velaryon, and you will do so without protest. The House of the Dragon will stand as one for a further generation.
And what will you do about the vulture who perches upon your throne?
Otto Hightower has served 2 kings loyally.
He wants Aegon to be named heir, and he will stop at nothing to see it done, including spying on me to bring about my ruin. You speak of the Conqueror's vision and unity across the realm, but how can that be accomplished with your most trusted advisor so self-interested?
Every man on my small council and all councils past has been self-interested.
That is true.
It is unavoidable.
You need to play with it.
I will do my duty as heir and with Selena, but you must first do yours as king.
Get rid of your hand. Now, we know someone who would gladly accept the title, but he's been sent away.
It is true that you cannot have a hand that is so self-centered.
My father was a hale and healthy warrior and dragon rider. Jaehaerys named a great royal hunt to celebrate him being named the Hand of the King. 5 days later, my father lay dead.
Is he implying that...
It was a grim day.
It was a good day for you. Just 5 days. You went from being another man in Jaehaerys' court to the second most powerful man in the realm. How long did it take you to choose yourself over your king?
Your Grace.
I will
I will never
never.
recover from Emma's death. But Alicent, she took me through the worst of my grief. She was a calculated distraction. Your interests no longer align with those of the realm. The crown and the realm. Both owe you a debt that can never be repaid. But I can no longer trust your judgment.
Not a bad decision. It depends on who you choose after him, but...
Well, yeah, it's a good one because you do only think about yourself.
As far as Han goes, he was not the worst, but he has been advising stuff based on what he thought was best for his house. And you can't have that. You need someone who's objective when he's
You
the
need
Han.
to think about the realm.
I took great care in its preparation.
Is it like moon tea or something?
I think it is.
I'm sorry, what is that?
A tea, princess. From the king.
Yeah, he doesn't believe that
It
nothing
will rid
happened.
you of any unwanted consequences.
To be fair, she did sleep with someone, and there is a chance that she could be pregnant. Like, who knows? But that means that, to her, that means that he doesn't trust her. He doesn't believe what she said.
Well, he is right in doing so. She did lie to him.
Yeah, well, the thing is, there's a part of me that sees her as a character, a young girl who's, exploring and just discovering the world, and in a way what Daemon did and showed her, like, there was a point to it, and it was not to defile her or to, stray her from the right path. It was really just to give her a look at the beauties of the world, because she was so dead set on my life is going to be miserable, there's nothing good that happens with marriage. Like, she was setting herself up for being alone and unmarried and probably powerless for the rest of her life. He was kind of trying, to me at least, it felt like he was trying to give her hope back. Like, yes, you will have to marry, but you're a dragon. Like, he truly believes in his house. Like, we saw 2 episodes ago when he defended his brother's name and stuff, and I was saying that, between dragons we can insult each other and that's fine, but no one else should get to look down on us because we're powerful. Like, the power of our house only comes down to how powerful we are in the eye of the others. But still, if he believes his house to be powerful, more powerful than everyone else, he also believes that they have the right to do whatever they want. And being a man, he also gets that right. But when you're a woman, it's completely different. I do get that as a Targaryen, you probably have a lot more freedoms than a lot of people. As the princess, as the heir, yeah,
But
true.
I will say that, I mean, if you compare Rhaenyra's situation with Daenerys in Game of Thrones, she was a queen. She was in position of leader. So of course she could do whatever she wanted.
She was also in the Free Cities.
She was an Essos also.
Like, she left, she had suitors, like, she slept around back when she was in Essos, but once she decided to come here to Westeros and she prepared for the voyage, for the travel, she left him.
She put that behind,
Yeah, she left him behind because she cannot sleep around per se. Not to say that she didn't, she definitely slept with Jon without that ever becoming a thing.
Yeah, but she hadn't meant to maybe make an alliance with him, who knows?
No, that never became a thing, although they should have made it a thing
I
because
know.
that would have
Come
solved
on.
a lot of problems. But still, her being a queen, her being from Essos and all of that.
She was in a position of power. Rhaenyra, although she's named heir, she's still just a princess. She's not the one in power yet.
And unfortunately, men will always look down on women who have slept around. Like, this is a reality. Like, even today, people, will ask each other, what's your body count? And if a guy has many women under his belt, people are like, yeah, good for you. And if a woman has many men under her belt, they'll call her a slut or something.
thing.
Like, it's just, it fucking sucks, but that's how it is. And back in those days where marriages and sons and daughters and just legacy was so important, if you're a woman and you sleep around, people can question the legitimacy of your children. So there's that. And on top of that, you add the, you're a guy, you can do whatever you want because you have needs, but you're a woman, your duty is to me. And if you sleep around, that means I cannot give you what you want. And that's like a sly on me. So the men will take it as an insult. So...
Well, it's like you're saying that as a man, you cannot provide for what you need.
Yeah, so men do take offense to a lot of the shit that's going on there. So, yeah, no, she cannot do what Daemon said, which is to take what she wants and find pleasure wherever she wants and whenever she wants. If she does that, there will be consequences. I was genuinely afraid that the Kingsguard was gonna, get killed if it ever came to light that he slept with her.
they could slap Rhaenyra's hand and said, "Bad girl, you did a bad thing," and
He's gonna get punished.
They never do it again. But for him, he can lose his head.
Like, just like, even like, he's a king's guard. Fucking Daemon is the brother of the king, and he was sent away because he apparently defiled Rhaenyra. Like, there are also consequences for the guy who slept, and that's another thing. Like, so people don't accuse me of the double standard. There are also consequences for the guy who does it, because for Rhaenyra, like, they'll be like, oh, a woman that cannot possibly have made that decision alone. Like, there's no way she wanted that, so you took her, you defiled her. So the blame is gonna be on the man. Even if the princess is the one that's like, oh, I'm the princess. Like, even if she had forced him to do it, like, if she had been, you come here, you do that. Like, fucking Cersei would have done it. Like, Cersei would have had the power and the means to do it, and she did. But it's him who's gonna get punished. So she'll be defiled, she'll lose value, and they'll judge her, and yeah, she won't be such a powerful pawn anymore in the great game, but he's gonna get killed or sent away. It sucks for everyone. But yeah.
Do you think that in those time or in that universe, because I do think that maybe your status, your social status, could maybe influence on whose side people are gonna take on. Like, if you're from a noble houses, people say, oh, someone took advantage of you because of your title, you had no say in it, you're still defiled, but the blame is purely on the man, not on the woman, because she would never done that. But if you're from a low-born family, like, oh, you're the one who opened your legs, and you're the one who slept around.
Kind of when Alicent went to the king, and I was saying, okay, I definitely understand that she's being used and her father's using her and stuff, but in the eye of the nobility, like everyone else around, I can only imagine the gossip surrounding what happened, and they would probably all be saying stuff like, oh, she went to the king in his moment of need and she manipulated him and took advantage. So, okay, you're right, it's probably not so much man versus woman, it's more like, if you're a man of noble status and you sleep around, it's fine. If you're a woman of noble status and you sleep around, it's going to be the other one's fault. If you're a man of noble status who seems to have, chosen a woman who doesn't deserve it, you're going to get judged. Like, you're going to be taken advantage of by the woman. But there's always going to be unhappy people who are jealous, and people who say that you took advantage. So the whole situation fucking sucks, that's why...
We do still have that today's society, though. If anyone slept with someone and
managed to get a
higher position, or someone who is in a position of powers,
even if it's not always true, like, it's just... People are quick to judge and use that as an excuse when they believe that they deserve it more and someone else got it.
And the thing is, even if it's true or not, like I said earlier than that, just the gossip in itself can be more harmful than the truth,
And at the end of the day, like, it doesn't really matter what happened. Like, they don't believe her. They don't trust that nothing happened. Just a tea show being given to her at the end shows that he doesn't trust that she didn't do shit. So the relationship with her dad is going to be shit next episode, and she has agreed to marry, what's his name?
Lenore.
Yeah.
Lenore Valerian.
She's agreed to marry him, which, as much as I like Rhaenyra, I also, like, we've seen a lot of this show's politics, the Game of Thrones and stuff. Like, we've seen a lot of historical shows about rulers and royal families who marry always for advantage, just fucking alliances. It's never necessary. It's never about the heart. It's never about love. Back in those days, if you're lucky enough, it can be about love and it can turn into love. But when you are in a position of power, you cannot allow yourself to marry for pleasure or love. So as much as I want her to experience life and have her freedom and all of that, I can't help but be like, girl, everyone has to do their duty at some point, and yours, unfortunately, is that. Not that I agree with how things used to be back then, but I understand that this is how the world works. It sucks because it's unfair. People like her dad, you know, he still had to remarry, and he didn't like the idea of remarrying, but he still got to choose who he was marrying, and he chose his heart over alliances, because if he had done his duty, it would have sucked, but
he would have wed Lena Velaryon.
Yeah.
But by choosing what his heart wants, he causes problem with another powerful houses. So your decision will have consequences.
And the worst for Rhaenyra is that now she's the one that has to correct her dad's mistake. You know, he didn't marry into the Velaryon family, so now she has to, so that tensions get taken down, like tensions are less intense. So it sucks because she has no choice, even though last episode he said choose your suitor, but then again she didn't make much of an effort to choose anyone. Like, she didn't even stay for the whole trip.
No, but
she's young.
A bunch of them were pretty much too old or really too young.
But as sad as it is, this is the reality of things.
True, it is true.
It's, you know, when you have to marry because you're of age, it's important for your status, it's important for your claim. The people that are available from the big houses are not necessarily going to be the most handsome and the youngest, they're not necessarily going to be the perfect age and all of that.
Not like Sir Cranston or Creston,
who's a Kingsguard, who's not supposed to marry or anything.
I know.
I'm still afraid that something's going to happen, because if it ever comes to light that something's going on with him, he's going to be the one punished.
Depends. Is she going to do it again, or it's just what, a one-time thing?
If she follows in Daemon's words, she could take what she wants. She's a dragon. She has a temperament. She could be like, oh, fuck them. Like, yes, I'm marrying for duty, but I still want my pleasure on the side. Which, I guess, like, if men can do it, it's fine for women to do it too. It's just, I understand how the world works, and if they find out, it doesn't matter if she's queen or the hair or anything. Gossip, like you said, will be terrible if people think for an instance that she could have a son that's not her husband's.
That's a bastard.
That would create a lot of issues with succession. And who's to say that House Velaryon is not going to be like, oh, you defiled, you know, yourself and you betrayed us, so we're annulling the marriage. Like any fucking, you know, usually weddings are not annulled so much in those days. Like, divorce is not so much a thing. But if you can prove that your wife, you know, was unfaithful, or that your wife cannot bear you children, like, there are a bunch of reasons you can find that they would eventually allow it. So it sucks, but it can be done, especially in a TV show, like fiction, like story. They would find a way. So if she does anything and they can prove that she, she's at fault, or she lied about having suitors on the side and stuff, kind of like, okay, let's take Cersei with Robert. If Robert had found out about his kids not being his kids at the beginning, Cersei would have been beheaded, and his children were probably going to be beheaded too. Like, he can have the dozen bastards. She cannot.
Good thing then that she killed him with the hunt, right? She was responsible for that, right?
Well, she got him drunk.
No.
The rest was an accident, but technically she pushed the issue, yeah. Still, it's the fucked up reality, and that aside, I kind of like Daemon this episode, you know, changed my opinion a little bit on him. I wasn't sure, like, people keep saying in the comments, like, oh, he loves his family, doesn't want the throne. Guys, don't forget, we're watching this for the first time. You know, every episode we can only judge from what we're seeing, and what we're seeing is that he was sitting on the throne, he's been, you know, making claims and stuff that he's the true heir. I see your point, and I'm seeing it more and more every episode, but still.
You can still love your family and have ambition for yourself. And you could still be thinking, what would have happened if I'm the one on the throne? If I'm the one in power? But it only depends if his ambition is going to surpass his love for his family.
I do believe that what he's been wanting for so long was to have his brother's approval, the respect he was owed, and him coming back with the crown and giving it to his brother, to me, said, like, he had every right to gloat and be like, see, I have power now, and instead he gave it to his brother. So to me, like, that's the episode where I'm like, oh, okay, I see now. he truly cares about his brother, and what he wants is to be accepted. Like that hug that they did made me feel for him. I felt like, oh, okay, the guy only wants his family to appreciate him and welcome him back, and he's been sent away for so long because he is a drama queen. That is true.
Come on.
And when he said, when his brother was saying, oh, what you want is the throne, so that's why you want to marry Rhaenyra, I'm like, no, I've been seeing hints since episode 1 that he is into his niece. So I think that...
Well, he find, at the beginning, I think that maybe it wasn't so much love or love, but he had an interest in her. And I think that seeing her grow, being more confident in herself, like she's taking her place, could pique his interest.
They've been dancing around each other for a while.
The only act that he did back then was give her a necklace.
Yeah, and lovingly putting it around her neck.
Come on, you said he's a drama queen.
Their dragons fucking sang to one another when they met episode 2. Stop. They had a thing for one another. Like, out of nowhere, he takes her, like, he's come back after 4 years. They meet for the first time after those 4 years, and he takes her to a brothel, and already he's into her.
Okay, yeah.
Those feelings came from somewhere.
She told him before then that she felt hopeless, that she didn't think that she would find joy in her future marriage. So he wanted to prove her wrong, but back then, just being in her house, everybody is taking pleasure, taking what they want.
No, stop.
Come on.
He has a thing for his niece. And in the brothel, those feelings came up, and that's it. Like, he wasn't just, oh, we're in a brothel, so let's do shit. Like, it's not that. He's been into her for a while. Those feelings existed. It's just, maybe it was affection to begin with. It turned into some sort of, love, like innocent love, and now it's turned to lust, but he's been into her for a while. So stop with the, no, nothing happened. I don't believe you. But I do respect, though, that he stopped himself in a brothel, and I will read it as, I don't think he did anything with her because he understood the consequences if he did to her. Like, right now, there's nothing to gain from sleeping with him, only the rumors, the bad reputation that he's bringing. Like, I almost feel like he's looking down on himself a little bit. Like, people always spit on him and try to send him away. And at one point, maybe he's heard it so much that he feels like this is who he is, and that's it. Kind of why maybe when they accused him of sleeping with Rhaenyra, he did not say anything because he knew they were not going to believe him anyway.
He doesn't see him as worthy or something like that.
Sort of. And if he was married to her, that would be something completely different, but he wasn't. So sleeping with her there would defile her, would screw her chances, would do a lot of bad shit to her, and he cares about her too much to do that. So I think that's why he stopped himself. I'm reading it like that.
But like I said, I think I've read somewhere that in the books, he didn't have any problem to get it up. Like, he had many children, I think so. But in the show, some people have said that they thought it was weird that they showed it as someone who had trouble with, like, in the horse in the first episode at the beginning.
He had no problem. He was getting it on. He just decided that he was not getting any pleasure from it, and he stopped. And she was like, I can put a blonde wig if you want. So I don't think he had any problem. He was actively sleeping with her. He just stopped. Maybe, but I mean, maybe he has no problem getting it on. It's just after that, there's nothing that excites him about this, so it fails.
But yeah, I do think that it's interesting and it's nice that they show it that it could happen sometimes that you have problems, not problems,
I
but
haven't seen anything yet that tells me he had a problem with that. Like, it's just he's not into the people he's been put with. Like I said, I think he has a crush. He's had a crush on his niece for a while, and maybe he was like, oh, he's sleeping around. Like, he said it himself that he's been sleeping around. Like, he went around all the brothels with his brother when they were younger. Like, he never had a problem. It's just, oh, he hasn't given a baby to his wife. Yeah, he's not into her. Oh, he stopped midway with that whore from episode 1. Yeah, he's not into her either. He believes he deserves more. I think that's all there is, at least from what I've seen in those few episodes. Maybe there is something else, but right now, This is my take on it. He has no problem with it. It's just he's not into those women.
Okay.
In any case, again, he's been sent to the Vale, so I don't know what he's going to do. He did bring up the idea of marriage, which I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. Maybe not because the king is going to choose it, because now he's set on the Velaryon.
Yeah.
The Velarion's son. So maybe she will wed him, but I do have a feeling that eventually...
she doesn't have a choice. He asked her to wed him.
She said she was going to do it. I don't think it's going to stick. I don't think it's going to be the ending couple right there. Like, I'm pretty sure maybe she'll get a child with that guy, or they won't have a chance to marry at all, but I'm pretty sure she ends up with her uncle. I am pretty sure.
We will see. Alright.
And like, it could happen when the king dies. I don't know when that happens, but he's dying for sure. Like, his body is fucking falling into pieces. Makes me think of what they had in Benur. The leprosy, yeah. Well, the skin, the wounds fester and everything just...
Oh, do you think that maybe Alicent's gonna have...
It's not contagious. Pretty sure it's not. Like, at least I don't...
It is
think
contagious.
So. It's not the plague.
Sure.
In Benur, like, we were hanging out, like, people were pushing the people with leprosy away and they didn't want to touch them, but it's not... Like, they still... When he found his family, he brought them back and he took care of them.
Yeah, but his mom and his sisters didn't want him to be neat because they didn't want him to catch it.
Yeah, but that could just be fear. He's been hanging for years around everyone, his wife included, and she has no wounds or anything. So I don't think it's contagious.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
It could not be that, like, it could be something else too, but it looks like that.
But yeah, poor Alicent. We saw the parallel with her and with Rhaenyra, she's truly a bird in a golden cage.
Well, to me, it felt like it was like we were hearing from Daemon how you take your pleasure and you do whatever you want, you do your duty, but on the side you do whatever, and then to cut to Alicent going through her duty, finding no pleasure in it, and just the harsh, cold reality of what her life is. It was kind of like a wake-up call of, yeah, you say that because you can do that, but some people can't, and that's a good example of someone who can't. And it sucks. Which makes me really glad her dad is going to be on his way. I don't know who's going to be named king after him, Hand of the King after him, though.
Oh, please, can you please name that guy who's been giving your advice many, many times? Good ones,
He gave good advice, but like the king said, which, by the way, I am loving that he's not daft. Like, he still understands how things are at court. Him saying, like, everyone around me in court, at the small council, everyone is in there for their own interest. Him saying that makes me think, okay, you're no fool. You understand that. It's great.
Thank you.
But it's true that if you're the hand of the king and you've made decisions and you've pushed for stuff, you've manipulated things in the shadows for yourself, for your house, you're no longer capable. Like, you're still a good advisor, sort of, but not a good hand of the king, because you need to be partial as much as possible if you're hand of the king.
True, because you need to be there for the realm, not just your house.
Yeah. Which he has been, because that's the thing, like, it's true, he's been spying on Rhaenyra, he's been sending Alicent to the king, he's been taking advantage of their weaknesses, and to do that to a certain extent with other people, that's one thing, but when you start playing around with the royal family, you can be trusted.
Well, to his defense, though, even though that he was spying on Rhaenyra, she did give him ammunition against herself.
Yes, but no, because if you think about it, she went to the brothel, but nothing happened, and still, he thought he had enough information to go to the king and say she slept with Daemon, which she didn't. Everything else, we know something happened, so we're like, oh, like, yeah.
It's true that his little white worm only told him that, she was at the brothel with Daemon.
Like, you can assume what happened, but to question her virtue based on rumors...
He meant to gossip.
Yep. That's when you're like, okay. And he did that because for sure, and the king is probably right with that, for sure, his goal is to have his grandson on the throne because it's his family. So if you can discredit Rhaenyra's virtue, you're winning. So it doesn't matter. Like, and I was right. Like, the king, got mad and pushed him away and was like, oh, how dare you say that? But he still listened. The rumor is enough to have him question what happened. Anyway.
Ilana.
So we're almost halfway through, guys. Next episode, we're halfway through. I do not know when we're gonna jump ahead and change actresses.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a shock. I'm loving the ones we have right now, like the cast we're having.
Maybe after the first half then.
And I love a fast-paced show, but I kind of miss the intricacies of the politics and the details and the slow pace of early Game of Thrones that we would have. Like I like that we're spending time on subjects and issues and it's kind of great. Like we're seeing many facets of Rhaenyra's personality, which makes us really know her and understand her character. So it's going to be great for the future. And again, like the mention of everything prophecy, everything Aegon and Song of Ice and Fire, there's a part of me that thinks it sucks because we know where that leads, like what ends up being a thing in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But I'm choosing to see it more as back then the Targaryens saw it as something that was a part of their house, something that they needed to, you know, follow and make true. So they needed to be careful about that. So that kind of explains the way they rule. So if their goal is, like, take Viserys, for example, if his goal is to unite the realm because of the idea that in the future we're going to need the Targaryen to unite everyone, that explains why he's so against war. That explains why he wants to marry his daughter so quickly, why he doesn't want to anger Otto, why he doesn't want to push people away. Like, he's trying to keep everyone together because he believes so much in the Song of Ice and Fire. So I'm choosing to take that more as that explains why they rule this way. And it's cool because the point of the show is to see the history of the house. So, okay.
All right.
So thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next two ones right away, they are on Patreon already. You can check them out. The link is in the description below.
And if you don't want to, the next one will be on YouTube next week. So gonna see you then.
Bye.